Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's the last Saturday in June. Time for week 26 on the Mission Inspiration Facebook group. So let me turn over to my overhead camera and I'll read you through the prompt for the week and then I'll explain what my vision is for my art journal page. So the prompt for week 26 is story. I'm hoping you can read that. So your life is a narrative where each moment is a page. Like a book, let your experiences, dreams and lessons intertwine. Navigate with purpose, for in the telling of your story, find meaning and connection. And celebrate every plot twist and turn, knowing your unique journey shapes the chapters of your existence. Fabulous stuff. So I'm going to be doing a combination of collage from both the retro collage paper pad and the dots and circles, which are now back in stock again. A mixture of stamping with both ink and with paint. I've got a vision in my head. I've got a narrative, a story in a picture in my head, if you like, that I'm hoping to be able to translate onto the page. So obviously there will be a little bit of a quote going on there too. So let me go off, get myself ready, gather all my bits and pieces that I'm going to need. Gesso, paint, ink, all that kind of stuff, and I'll be right back. I don't think I could cram anything more on my desk, even if I tried today. So I've got my paper trimmer, I've got my paper pads, which I've already gone through and chosen the sheets from the retro collage. So I've gone for that one, which I really love. So we're going to be using her, and it's the back page from the dots and circles paper pad on this one. So happy with those two choices. So the first thing I need to do is to cut my back down, and we are going to be using a little bit of a circular theme again today. So first of all, I just want to trim that off, which is where I didn't really cut out, well, I didn't tear it out properly. So the actual page, the back of the page, or my first layer, if you like, is going to be about there. So pencil, and it'll be something I forget to grab, is going to be about there. So that needs to go about there, because I want a little bit of a border all the way around. So we'll trim that one off first, about there. And then this one, the mark is there, so we'll trim that down to there. Lovely. That's what we like. So that's going to be my base layer. I think we'll have it that way around. Yeah, we'll have it that way around today. So what I'll do is I will build up on this and then I'll stick it down onto my main sheet last, if you like. So I'm going to also be using some background stamping, using my journaling textures #1, and I'm going to be using the circle stamp. So I will need a stamping block for that. So we'll just need a smallish one. So that one will do for that, just nicely. And then what I'm going to do is just get some white gesso. I'll give it a good shake actually. And then pick up some of that gesso onto a distress sponge. And not a lot of people know or realise that you can stamp with paint, as long as you remember to wash your stamp straight afterwards. Now I always find it works a lot better with rubber stamps than it does with photopolymer, but that's just, that's just me. And like I said, you've got to remember to wash and clean them very quickly afterwards. and you can get some really nice results as well. So if you don't have much ink, don't worry, because like I said, you can stamp with paints as well. All right, so I need to get that cleaned off pretty darn quick. So I've got a wet wipe here. So I'm just going to quickly whip that over, clear that off. I sometimes have one of those little like plastic square container, like a storage box with a little bit of water in it. I just tend to drop it straight in afterwards. Or like today, I have some wet wipes which work just as well. There we go, and then we can just clear that up. Because the papers in the paper pads are uncoated, they will absorb the paint, but they won't soak all the way through, if you know what I mean. They're not going to make your papers damp and soggy, because you're not putting that much paint onto the stamp for it to cause it to go all soggy and start buckling, but you are just going to get some nice subtle kind of stamping effect. There we go. I need to pop that back on the laminate, then I'll sort the rest of that out later. Right, so I'll just have a quick tidy up, get ready for the next step, and then I'll be right back. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is to cut out my lady. So again, I'm just going to use a pair of scissors for this and just go around quickly. Now I'm not particularly too bothered if I don't cut her out perfectly. We'll do from this side. Alright, so I'll just quickly whiz through this, the magic of fast forwarding, and I'll join you again in a second. So I've transferred the background onto my stamping platform, and I've masked off a section of the sheet here. I have a dragonfly stamp from Indigo Blue, which is part of their Mixed Media Box at number 4 release. It's an exclusive to that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stamp half of the dragonfly at the top. So that's what I've positioned the stamp, so that when I stamp down, I hope you can see that there, when I stamp, it's only going to stamp half of the dragonfly. So hopefully I won't make a mess of this. He says, fingers crossed. Just making sure I'm inking up mostly the side that I want. A little bit far over with the masking tape. I'm not quite as straight with the stamp as I thought I was going to be, but hey ho, it is what it is. So now I'm going to lift that masking tape off. And this masking tape is very low tack. It's actually stencil tape, so it's extremely low tack. So it's not going to harm the paper at all. There we go. And then I'm going to repeat the process again over this side. I'm going to do it down here at the bottom. So I'm going to just clean off the stamp. There we go. Just dab it dry. And then I've also put some arrows on the back so I can kind of work out where it needs to be, like so. So it needs to be along that 3.5 inch line. So let's just run about 3.5, didn't I? I probably don't need to use as much precision as what I'm doing, but typical. A metal ruler and it's magnetic. I ought to know better. Okay, that should do, mate. Get off. Life of its own today. Again, I'm not going to ink up the other half of the stamp. There's no real need. So hopefully that will do. So if I just do it from this side, so it's this side of the stamp. In case you're wondering, I'm just using the VersaFine Clair in Nocturne, which is the black. And then straight down. With any luck. Yeah, I've pretty much done the same thing, so we're just going to get the wings, which is okay. At least it matches. There's nothing says you have to use the whole of a stamp on a project. Not really. You can use as much of a stamp as you like. Top corner, bottom left, whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to position that about there. Actually put a kind of like towards there. Yeah, happy with that, I think. All right, so before we carry on then, I'm going to use the other stamp. So this one is the Journaling Textures, and I'm going to go that way up. And I'm going to go over in a light, well, say a lighter colour, a different contrasting colour, which is going to complement the background. So we'll use tea dye, I think. So let's just remove that. I don't know how juicy that tea dye is these days. I'm just straightening the stamp up on the block. Okay, and then straight down. Not dark enough, right? So I think we'll go in with a darker colour. This is brushed corduroy, and if this isn't dark enough, because my stamps ink pads are obviously not as juicy as they should be. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Just give that a quick wipe off, and then I can line up that one. Again, I can just adjust it slightly if I don't think I've got it straight. And then straight down. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just grab in that stamp block that I had earlier. I'm just going to go around in a couple of other areas, just adding in a bit more texture. But just subtle. I think that will do it. Right, let's take that off the block. Just give that a quick whiz round. And we can get rid of the stamping block now. There we go. So I think we can get her some glue down. We can grab some scratch paper. Actually, I think I might want something else. Just in those areas there. So why not use that text sample? So it's all about stories anyway. So let me just ink up this little text stamp. And then I'm just going to, and of course I've got it upside down. Of course I have. Because why wouldn't I? I am being sarcastic there. Luckily, it was just the one that was upside down, and it's mostly going to be covered by the lady anyway. So I'm happier with that now. Give that a clean in a second. That'll do me. Okay. But I do need to just quickly clean that background out at the work surface, because otherwise I'm going to get it everywhere. Okay. That's much better. Yeah, much happier with that. Right, so let's get that turned over. Glue stick. So this is a Dilutions Diary glue stick. One of those little triangular ones that you get in a, I think, pack of 3. That were, last time I bought a load, they were very inexpensive. And I bought 2 or 3 packs, so I ended up with about 18 glue sticks, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to get back to Art from the Heart Diane's shop in Harrogate because we'd moved. We weren't as close as we were previously, so I bought a load. I'm starting to run out now because it's been 5 years now since we moved into this house. Time has really flown quickly. So, right. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Okay, so now I need to add my quote and phrase, and then I just have to remember what I did with it. Put it down somewhere, so I'll go and hunt that, and then I'll be back. So just have a quick close up on that, and I'll see you again in a moment. All right, I'm back. So let's just zoom out a little bit. Right, I've got my little quote for my journal page, so I've just printed it off on the computer, so I'm just going to cut it out, get rid of any superfluous bits of white that I don't want, keep the bits that I do. Okay, and then I can start just going around snipping off the edges that I don't want. So this particular one, everyone has their own story to tell, is going to be on the next set of journaling quotes stamps when that comes out. There we go. So let me just trim that down a little bit further. I don't want a huge amount of white. And just even that off a little bit. I think I've got a bit of a corner there. I haven't been able to cut straight today. Right, that will do. So again, just going to grab a bit of distressing, and I'll just quickly go around all 4 corners, edges, just adding a little bit of distress just to make them pop a little bit from the background, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so get my scratch paper, and I've got my Dilutions glue stick, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half of it up here, and then the remainder is going to go down here, like so. Now, this image from the Retro Collage book is just a gift for this kind of art journal page because it looks like she's holding a book, which is cool. Pure coincidence. How could I have known when I designed those papers a while ago that that one would come in handy for this one. Right. I love it when it sticks to the glue stick. Just makes it easier to pick up. Just like that. Okay. So we'll just give that a second or two just to dry off, and then I'll be right back. So just before I stick everything down into the journal, I just wanted to do another kind of finalised line, just so that it looks a bit more intentional. The fact that the dragonfly is actually cut in half. And I'm going to do the same at this side. I'm just going to carry those black lines a bit further on, and then maybe just extend that one a little bit further, then maybe add another one. Just down here, and then the same again at that side. And it just helps to finish it off, I think. Just to add a couple of those lines. Just helps to kind of complete the composition a little bit. I'm not going to go around the word blocks. Don't really think it needs it. I think I'm happy with the way that is now. So all I have to do is just flip that over, and then we'll just run. I'm starting to run out of glues now. Could we get some more? And just quickly run around. Alright. Just had a text message come in, so that must be from Ian. He's away this weekend at one of these steampunk shows at Telford, Bliss Hill. I won't be back till Sunday evening, so hopefully that's him telling me that it's busy. There we go. So there is my art journal page for week 26 of the Mission Inspiration Facebook challenge, and the prompt being story. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this art journal page together. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, because it really does help me, and it does help the channel get found by people who don't know I exist yet. And don't forget, you can share the video if you like, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And on screen right there is the URL for the Mission Inspiration Facebook group if you haven't joined us yet, for our weekly art challenges. So there'll also be a clickable link below the video. So that's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.